Hey.
Thank you, Amber. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Moving very well. What can I do for you today?
I have a question about Illustrator and vector art.
Oh, you do you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, boy. Fire away.
I was wondering how to turn a more complex image into vector art without having to do it manually in Illustrator.
So let me explain a little bit what you're asking before we bring in an expert to show you.
Okay.
Most images are what we call rasterized or bitmaps. That is, they're dots, they're drawings. The way Illustrator works, freehand too, is a little different. It actually describes things as geometries, as lines, curves, solid fills. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, I think Mike just pressed a button there on or something on the laptop, so we just lost him. This is an image right here of a beautiful image that Sean Carruthers took of a bee pollinating a flower. Now that's a bitmap. Now to turn that into vector art is going to be complicated because there's dots. It's hard to describe geometrically all the detail here. What are the images you want to create vectors out of?
I'm thinking more of like a person's face.
Okay. And then you could use it as a cartoon art almost, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's two different schools of thought. There is, and I'm going to have Sean come in here. In fact, why don't you come in now, Sean? And he's going to show us, in Illustrator CS2, the most recent version, there is an automated vector conversion program that will take a bitmap like this and convert it. But we've even had experts on who said, well, I'll let Sean show you, and then I'll talk about the alternative choice. So how would he do this? This is your image here. So.
Yeah. So first of all, you have to have the image loaded up. You just import it.
You say your partner Eileen is a graphic artist, works with Illustrator all the time, and showed you how to do this,
yes,
right?
Yes, indeed. So credit where
we'll
credit is
give Eileen
due.
some credit.
So once you have the image in, you
under Object, Live Trace.
Live Trace. You set your tracing options.
Now this is important. If you don't set these options, you're going to get something really unusable.
Right. So the default is black and white. So it'll give you an outline basically if you're looking for something to color in yourself. If you want to convert it in color, you would change that over to color. Now you've got maximum colors just down below that, and that's what will determine, how much complexity there is to this image.
How cartoon-like it will look.
Right. So the default is 6, so that'll give you big blotchy patches of solid colors. Now if you wanted to make it a little bit more complicated, you would slide this up. It'll go all the way up to 256 colors, which is a lot. We'll bring it down to say 128. Or thereabouts.
And this is, in other words, you're going to want to play with this before you...
So that's set the options. Now you go back in there, go into Live Trace, and then Make once those are set. I'm not sure why that didn't set. Live Trace. Okay, for some reason it's not set to do that.
It's not remembered. There it is.
We hadn't selected it.
You weren't doing the image.
You select the image, go into Live Trace, and then go Make.
All right.
And what that will do is
it's going to actually automatically try to find the curves. Now, experts, and you could, well, it did a pretty good job. I mean, it looks more cartoon-like.
Right, and if you take that up to 256, it will look a lot like the original
Let's see the handles, though. Now, this is the issue, is sometimes when you get something like this, you're going to get a lot of handles. That's how, if you've used, I take it, have used Illustrator, right, Grant? You use it?
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah.
Right, and this is only in CS2, by the way.
Yeah, this is a new feature.
So you go back into the Live Trace menu under Object and click on Expand. And that will give you all the handles.
This is all the curves. Now, this is where the experts go, ha! That's not what you wanted at all. And it really depends on whether you want something that you can use those curves or not. If you zoom in, you see why it had to have so many handles. It's a fairly complex image. Many experts say, and we've even had people on the show, the best way to use is just to use the curve tool, the pen, and trace the thing by hand, because you'll get a more accurate, simpler perhaps, but a more accurate map that you can actually use. It really, and they even say don't start with this because there's so many handles on here. It's going to be a pain to try to figure out. But I think that the new capabilities are pretty good. You just have to play with the settings to get at what you want. Now, I often have cartoons done. We've had one of Amber done, and I have one done by Nitro Zach and Snaggy, who do the great Joy of Tech cartoons, and she uses Illustrator to do that, and does the same thing basically. She'll take a face and rasterize it, trace it basically into vectors, vectorize I guess you'd call it, and is able to get pretty good results that way. But I think she does it by hand. In fact, she uses a very old version of Illustrator to do it. So it depends on the result, but I would try this. Do you have CS2, Grant?
Yeah.
That's why you don't have this capability. There is somewhat of a capability in CS. It's not good at all. It doesn't work at all. So really, I think you're going to have to use a curve tool and do it by hand.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks, Grant. Appreciate the question.
Thank you.
Amber, she's the queen of Firefox extensions. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Thanks.